Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm technically not a technician, and today we're diving into something different, something mysterious. A project that has haunted my mind for years. Today, we uncover the legend of Polybius, an arcade machine so rare, so elusive, that some say it never even existed. Was it a top-secret government experiment, a tool for mind control, or just an elaborate urban legend? Well, today, we dig deep into its dark history. And later, I'll show you my very own Polybius arcade build, gameplay footage, and some hidden Easter eggs you won't believe. For those of you who haven't heard of Polybius, let me take you back to the early 1980s. Arcades were everywhere. Loud, dark rooms filled with the sounds of bleeps, bloops, and quarters clinking into machines. A golden era of gaming. But there were whispers. Somewhere, deep in the arcade scene, an unknown, unmarked cabinet appeared. Players were drawn to it. Lines stretched out the door just to play. But here's where things get weird. Those who played Polybius started experiencing strange side effects: headaches, nausea, hallucinations. Some reported severe amnesia, claiming they had lost entire days of their lives. Others even had full-blown seizures. And then it was gone, just vanished without a trace. No one could find it. No official records, no physical proof, only memories, fuzzy, dreamlike memories of those who swore they had played it. And if that's not creepy enough, arcade owners reported strange men in black suits, no logos, no names, coming to inspect the machines. They weren't collecting quarters. They were collecting data. Then, one day, Polybius disappeared. No warnings, no explanations. It was as if the game had never existed. So, was Polybius real? Or just some crazy gamer's fever dream? The only known image of the cabinet surfaced in an obscure post on coinop.org in 1998. The author of that post. They claimed to have a ROM file, a digital copy, of the game itself. But here's the catch. No one has ever officially confirmed playing this ROM. No one can prove its true origins. Everything we know comes from eyewitnesses and old forum posts. And yet, the legend lives on. The mystery has only grown. Every year, more people claim to have seen it, played it, or even owned it. I honestly don't remember exactly when I first heard about Polybius. Maybe it was in some old magazine, maybe a late-night internet deep dive. But whatever it was, it hooked me. I became obsessed. I wanted to know, was it real? Could I find it? Could I play it? That's when I stumbled onto something big, a group of mad geniuses known as Rogue Synapse. Rogue Synapse isn't just any old modding group. They take games that shouldn't exist and make them real. They've recreated legendary arcade games like The Last Starfighter, yes, the one from the movie. They built space paranoids from Tron. And, of course, Polybius. At the heart of this group is a guy named Doc. And let me tell you, Doc is a legend. This man takes forgotten, fictional, and mysterious games and turns them into playable reality. And the best part? He shares them with the community. No paywalls, no corporate greed, just pure passion. And you won't believe this. I actually met him. Yeah, I met Doc. And it wasn't just a casual, "Hey, nice to meet you." I actually got to talk to him, ask him about Polybius, and get him to sign the README files from his software package. And get this, Doc built Polybius in 2 or 3 weeks. A game that people had obsessed over for decades, he recreated in days. But what really blew my mind? The Easter eggs he put in the game. Clues, secrets, hidden messages, and I'm still finding them. All right, folks, you've heard the legend, you've seen the history, but now it's time to show you how I actually built my very own Polybius arcade machine. And let me tell you, this wasn't just some simple plug-and-play job. There were challenges, there were mysteries, There were even a few hidden secrets I never expected to find. So, how did I do it? And what happens when we finally power this thing on? Stick around, because this gets weird. When it came to building this thing, I had one goal: make it look as close to the original Polybius arcade image as possible, but using what I already had on hand. Now, lucky for me, the heavy lifting was already done by Doc, the mastermind behind the modern-day Polybius software. He designed it to fit a vertical arcade setup, just like the one in that infamous grainy image of the alleged original cab. So, let's talk about the guts of this beast. And trust me, this gets really retro. Alright, here's the setup. I'm running this on an old Pentium Dual E 2200. Yep, a processor from the days when dinosaurs still roamed the internet. We've got 4 gigabytes of RAM, an old AMD Radeon R5240 GPU, and, get this, Windows 7. I know, Windows 7 is outdated, insecure, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, it runs Doc's Polybius software perfectly. And since this bad boy isn't connected to the internet, because let's be real, I don't want my soul getting downloaded by some government AI, it's all good. But here's where things get really interesting. This isn't just a Polybius cab. Oh no. I wanted to make sure this thing had a proper library of games that felt authentic to the era, so I built a custom ROM set using a genius little trick. Instead of manually deleting unwanted games, because let's face it, that's a nightmare, I used the arcade database to create a list of only the games that match my controls and hardware. Then, I turned that list into a batch file that automatically copies only the relevant ROMs over. Boom, instant custom game library, no wasted space. If you want a full tutorial on this, I've got videos linked in the description. But trust me, it saves hours of work. Now let's talk about the cabinet itself. This started life as an arcade 1-up Centipede cab. We're basically using it because, hey, I already have it, and the vertical screen matched the original Polybius design. But it wasn't a perfect fit. The monitor angle was off, the screen ratio was slightly different, and the original had a pinball-style coin door, which, fun fact, isn't common for arcades, but it is in that original Polybius image. So I had to go full mad scientist. I stripped the thing down, used the original panels as templates to make new panels, and added a working coin door that looks just like the one in that legendary image. And then I had to paint it, which, let's just say, did not go according to plan. I suck at painting, no sugarcoating it. I got runs in the paint, uneven textures. I thought I was going for mystique, but I ended up with disaster. But hey, it's all part of the process, right? All right, enough talk. Let's fire this thing up. So how does it play? Well, it's weird and familiar. Imagine a mashup of Tempest and Asteroids, but with rapid flashing colors, bizarre messages, and hidden layers of gameplay logic. Your goal? Shoot enemy pawns, reduce the central number to 0 and advance. But here's the twist. You have to match or divide the base number correctly. Otherwise, things get bad. And then, there are the Easter eggs. Oh yeah, Doc packed this thing with secrets. First off, there are subliminal messages. I've caught glimpses of text that vanish before you can fully read them. And sometimes, I swear I see a face flash on the screen. Then, after a while, a set of disturbing messages appears. Preparing to uplink. Uplink active, and then uplink complete. To where? To who? And if you dig deeper, there's something called the Higher Functions menu. It requires a sequence of numbers found in the README files. Enter them into this menu, and boom, access to the mind-bending settings of the game. If you take this sequence of numbers and enter it into a Polybius square cipher, you get a message from Doc himself. I'll not give his message away, but it's a cool detail. This has been one wild ride. From the legend of Polybius to the incredible work of Doc to the challenges of building my own arcade cab, it's been an experience. Would I do anything differently? Probably. I'd use a better donor cab, upgrade the controls, and actually learn how to paint. But at the end of the day, this has been an amazing project, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. If you see Doc on the streets, be sure to thank him, and if you've made it this far in the video, I'd like to thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me when people watch, interact, and support the channel. I'd ask that if you've enjoyed this video, you hit that like button, click on the notifications icon, share this video with a friend or on your social media, leave me a comment below, and if you've not done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. These are all small actions on your part, but those little actions help this channel grow in a big way. I'd also like to remind all of you that videos like this aren't possible without your support. If you'd like to support this channel directly, please consider becoming a channel member. Remember that members get a bunch of perks, like early access to videos. If you'd like to make a single-time donation to the channel, you can also find me on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll also be placing affiliate links to some of the parts used in this build. If you're wanting to build a cab like this, please feel free to use them. It would cost you nothing extra, you'd know you have the right part, and you'd be supporting the channel. We'd all win. Regardless, thank you all for checking out the video, helping me beat the YouTube algorithm, and I hope that I'll see you in my next video.